And I say, yo. What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Larry. And we live back in the motherfucking building. Y'all already know episode 2 of these motherfucking crazy ass playoffs, 2022 playoffs. Ain't gonna take too much more of your time. We got so much crazy shit going on. Game 2, we're gonna talk about these game 2s that just occurred, that just happened, you feel what I'm saying? Pelicans, Memphis, Dallas, Atlanta, the Nets, all of them had great game 2 performances, but only 3 of those teams had bounce back victories in those game 2s. And I'm gonna break down what all happened, who I'm talking about, all that crazy ass shit. So stick with your boy right here on Larry Live. Bow. Yo, alright man, so we back, you feel what I'm saying? Back Larry Live, you already know. Let's jump into this thing. Same shit as last time. We're gonna start with the boring series and get to the more exciting series. So first one up, Golden State, them Dubs, going against the Denver Nuggets, MVP caliber, Nikola Jokic, you already know. Like I said, man, Curry sat down for the second game in a row, coming off the bench. The three, what was being called the death lineup, the 3-guard lineup, Jordan Poole, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson. Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins is taking the tear on Denver. Denver actually had a lead for their game 2, and but quickly that death lineup erased the lead and got it back. But it's not really to analyze, nothing really break down. No disrespect to Denver, but they don't have all their pieces. They don't have all their, you know what I mean? It's just too much in this Golden State. It's just too much, well collected. Everything's clicking. Curry's come back. He's looking healthier than ever. Not healthier than ever, but he's looking healthy. Looking like he didn't miss a step in a pep in the step, a step in this game, or whatever you want to call it. So we're not going to stay too much on here. Up next, we got motherfucking Toronto and Philly. Toronto and Philly, another one looking like it's just, we're waiting for Toronto to give us that push, that edge, so that, you know what I mean, we can actually see what you know what I mean. But these 2 games that I've witnessed, that I've seen, that I've analyzed, it doesn't look like Toronto has enough fight in them, so to say. They have the pieces, enough pieces to make it a fight. You know what I mean? Not to say that they will win everything, but they have enough pieces to make it a fight. OG Anunoby, Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr., Pascal Siakam. They have plenty of pieces. They have depth. They have defense, offense. They don't have that star caliber player to take over when needed. Siakam is supposed to be their all-star. Siakam is supposed to be that guy, but he just needs more. I'm not even going to shut him down like that. He just needs more at some time, that star level caliber. Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent Jr., as good as those players are, you need a star go alongside that roster to help you out, to be Embiid, MVP candidate, and Harden, a former MVP player. With that though, I do say Philly's just doing what they want with them. Embiid's a monster. Embiid's a beast doing what he wants. Harden isn't even focused on just dominating scoring, like he's being very playmaker-ish. Maxey playing good, Harris playing good, the whole Sixers playing good. And right now that series look like Toronto is gonna give Philly 4 straight games. You feel what I'm saying? So, but Toronto fans, don't be, you know what I mean, don't be beat up. You guys don't be beat up. You guys are sitting there. That's it. Don't get beat up. Up next, we got one of the started off as a boring series, and now since yesterday's game and injury update, this series might get a little interesting. Maybe not, but the last night's game was definitely interesting. Phoenix Pelicans. Pelicans came away with the win. And as you seen the game, they had a whole bunch of fight from the very beginning of the game. Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum came out swinging. They put the team on their backs, and of course the role players, Jackson Hayes, well he's a star, but you know the other guys, as Shaq would call them, stepped up, did their part, and helped secure the win. But it was all about energy. It's all about just believing in yourself, effort, hustle plays, and momentum. The same thing Timberwolves brought that game 1 against the Grizzlies. It's all about energy. And Pelicans brought a lot of it. Even if Booker stayed in the game, I still believe Pelicans would have stayed close, because Booker dropped 31 points in the first half, even though he didn't get injured until 6 minutes in the third. That's when he left. He probably was injured longer than that. But he was cold. He started missing a couple shots even after that. So I'm not saying he would have remained cold. I'm just saying Pelicans, not saying they would have won anything, but it probably would have kept it a close game. They was really hot. They was hitting a lot of threes. They made 9 threes in the first half, I believe. Phoenix only made 10 or 11. And Pelicans were looking right. It was the energy, the fight, the hustle, knowing that they actually want to win. They're here. They're not afraid of anything. And that's what really looked nice. That's what really looked good. But my thing is, even without Booker, I feel like this Phoenix Suns team can still destroy the Pelicans. Even without Devin Booker, I feel like that team is just so damn good. And just because it was a close game, that last game, the game 2, doesn't mean that that's what we're going to be seeing from the Pelicans. That's what we need from the Pelicans if they want to take over this series and steal the series away. But I don't believe that's what we'll be seeing from the Pelicans anymore. Probably a lot of hustle, a lot of fight, a lot of grit. But this Phoenix Suns is very deep. They know what it's like to miss stars. This isn't the finals. They're not going against Milwaukee Bucks. They're going against the Pelicans. So they should be able to beat the Pelicans without Devin Booker. Maybe they drag it. Maybe they you know what I mean? Maybe they stretch it out an extra game. You know what I mean? Just to try and get Booker back for that round 2 and not try to go into that next round without Booker. You never know how these motherfuckers play. You know what I mean? But I see the future. You feel what I'm saying? So even without Devin Booker, I feel like the Phoenix Suns still have enough ammunition, still have enough weapons, still have enough ammo to get the job done. Point blank. Period. Up next, one that I feel like took the game just took a kind of a slimmer down. The series is still exciting, still fun to watch, but just yesterday witnessing the Memphis Grizzlies destroy the Timberwolves, we can all agree that what we saw in that game 2 is really is the future of Minnesota Timberwolves and the future of Memphis Grizzlies regarding to this round, in my opinion. You don't have to agree, you don't have to like it. I don't give a damn, I don't give a fuck. But that's the truth, baby. Just witnessing how bad the Grizzlies destroyed Timberwolves off the purely defensive side and also getting that offensive, their threes flowing. They were attacking, they were driving, they were passing. But the defense was phenomenal. Honestly, this was a regular Memphis Grizzlies team. They weren't, all the adrenaline calmed down. They knew they were the better team. You can tell by how the energy was in the air. They do have to go to Minnesota next 2 games, but I feel like this Memphis Grizzlies team is very good. Desmond Bane got off early, started off very aggressive. One play, he gave it to Morant. Was like, hey, give it back to me. You feel what I'm saying? And threw it and tossed up a 3 and made it. That was first, second quarter. But Desmond Bane started off very aggressive early. Dylan Brooks, who is also a part of that phenomenal 3, he was aggressive on the defensive side. He didn't let Ant or Russell do whatever they want. He was on them from time to time, just being a menace on that side. Shout out to Tyus Jones as well. When Morant was out in that regular season, Tyus Jones was the one that stepped up and made sure, just stepped up and became that starting point guard. Had much respect for Tyus Jones. Big help in this game and in the regular season when Morant's not there. I believe Memphis actually took the lead when Morant was sitting down on the bench, and that unit actually stretched the lead out, and Morant came back in. Boy, oh boy, it was nothing they can do. And shout out to the Pops. I know you guys seen the Cat's dad and John Morant's dad just talking that shit. Chicken talking over there on the sideline, talking that shit. Over here had the black announcer talking that shit. That nigga talked to him. I love it. I like to see that shit. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the Pops showing love to their sons and all that shit. But right now, Memphis Grizzlies are just what we saw from Minnesota is what we saw from a lot of these bounce back teams that I'm talking about. Pelicans, what Memphis did now, Dallas, Atlanta. The hustle, knowing the grind, Minnesota brought that. They brought that intensity game 1. And in order for them to win more games, we have to bring that every single game against Memphis. And that's hard because Memphis is not sorry. They don't suck. They've been here last year. They was in the playoffs last year. And they went through a whole season with that chemistry, with that thought process. And this is that same team, a better team at that. They lost a few pieces. They gained a few pieces. But this is still the same team at that. I don't believe Minnesota will win another game. I feel like they may win one more game, a big game from Ant and Cat. Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell were no-shows in this game. Anthony Edwards had a terrible game yesterday. Just couldn't find the bottom of the basket. D'Angelo Russell, same thing. Minnesota Timberwolves. Cat had a pretty decent game, but in order for them to win, beat Memphis, they'll have to score and play defense. They didn't do any of that in that game too. Right now, I got Memphis winning it all. Up next, very interesting matchup. Miami and the Hawks. Hawks gave it their goddamn all. But what do we say when we ball? Jimmy Buckets, Buckito. Jimmy Buckets, Jimmy Butler did his motherfucking thing, man. Got them boys, you know what I mean? He dropped about 45. That's career high in the playoff, you feel what I'm saying, for Jimmy Butler. But the Hawks came back. They weren't the same Hawks from game one. They were looking like they meant business. They were hitting threes. Kevin Huerter was hitting threes. Bogdanovich and DeAndre Hunter, they were dominating. They were scoring. Bogdanovich hitting threes, hitting middies. DeAndre Hunter, he was attacking the paint, backing bitches down, showing really who was the more athletic, aggressive side. And unfortunate for Atlanta, two bad plays, or not bad plays, but two plays by the Miami Heat towards the end of the game cost them that comeback that they were about to get. Bogdanovich hit a long two. It looked like a three that could have gotten within three in the fourth quarter, and then the very after that, Lowry got an and one, and following that, Butler got a steal and dunked it, pretty much the dagger. They were down by 7 or 8, and now you're playing the free throw game. But it was a very, very, very good game by Trae Young, Bogdanovich, DeAndre Hunter. Kevin Huerter was even hitting. John Collins came in the game. He started a little rusty, but John Collins was doing his thing as well. DeLon Wright came in and was doing his thing. Hawks did not play a bad game. I believe they'll play an even better game 3 just based off how good they were looking in game 2. It just didn't fall right for them. Miami Heat's defense, offense were there again, but the Hawks weren't backing down. They were hitting threes. The offense was clicking. Miami Heat defense still aggressive, still making it hard for them. But the Hawks show why they are one of the best offensive in the league right now, especially when they're hitting their threes. It's hard to beat them because you got all guys can hit your threes. All guys can shoot. All guys is going to make the jumper. And just a great all-around game from. But you know, mama, there goes that man, Jimmy Buckets, doing it all by himself. And when it mattered, he really showed his motherfucking ass. And that really looked like Jimmy Butler from the 2020 finals, from the 2020 finals when he was going against LeBron James. Will we see more of that Jimmy Buckets throughout these playoffs? I think we will, but will it amount to anything? Who knows? I still got Miami winning that series, maybe in 6, could go to 7. But the way Atlanta played, I don't have I did not lose any faith in them. Not saying that I think they're going to win anything, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be 4-0, nothing like that. Mad respect for Atlanta and what they did. You should have respect for Atlanta and what they did. Just because they didn't get the dub last night, they were really this close to getting it. Miami was shitting in their pants, believe it or not. Oh, next we got Utah, Dallas. This was a very, very fucking good game yesterday. Very good game yesterday, or whenever the fuck they played. Utah and Dallas. Game 2, very interesting, very wholesome. Utah, Quinn Snyder. What the fuck to do with y'all? Mad respect for Dallas, man. Without Luka Doncic again, I thought it would take Luka coming back for them to win game 2. They won it without him. The intensity, the fight, the hustle, the hunger, everything that Memphis bought, the Pelicans bought, Atlanta brought. That is a set, all of that and some. Dallas brought that energy. They brought it for their ass yesterday. Dorian Finney-Smith, Dwight Powell, Maxi Kleber, Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, the whole, even Davis Bertans, everybody clicking, hitting threes, playing defense. That's what Dallas isn't getting recognition for, even though the stats don't lie. Boston and Dallas Mavericks since the beginning of the new year or since the All-Star break has been number 1 and number 2 in the defensive rating of the league, or just top 1 and 2 defensive teams in the league. Numbers don't lie, baby. Dallas is the top team when it comes to defense, messing up offenses, just being underrated on the defensive side. They got Brunson, they got Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock, who are 3 guys. And then you got Dwight Powell, who is undersized, but the energy, the effort, the hustle, the grit, the grind is gonna always overdo what you do. He's getting blocks. He's undersized, but he's getting blocks on Hassan Whiteside and Rudy Gobert. on any of your guys. It's that hustle that you need, and Dallas has it. On top of that, the offense is too great. Dwight Powell can hit threes. Dorian Finney-Smith can hit threes. Apologize, but everybody else around them, Brunson, Dinwiddie can hit threes. Maxi Kleber can hit threes. And he came off the bench, annihilating them. 7 for 8, 8 for 10, something bullshit like that from 3. Killing them. My problem with Utah is their big men do not like to go out to the perimeter. Don't like to go out to the 3. It's been plenty of time where I see Hassan Whiteside stay in the paint while Maxi Kleber just hit 2 threes back to back on him. The rotation side, they would rather sag in the paint than go out there to extend to that big man. And that big man is going to hit. If it's not, Powell doesn't really hit threes like that. Slick and sacrifice, but he will hit one out of every so often. But Kleber, you cannot leave out there. And when they got that Kleber, when they have Kleber inside and they have Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jalen Brunson, when they have those three-point shooting guys, it's very hard, very, very hard to beat this Dallas Maverick team because they're two ways. And don't forget, you got Josh Green, who brings that excellent defense, excellent athleticism. He doesn't really shoot that well. It's times when he catches the ball and he just pauses because he's that wide open, but he's not comfortable shooting. That's a lineup where the defense is A+, but the offense is B- because he's a liability on offense. But when you replace him with maybe no Luka, but throw in a Reggie Bullock or something that where he has defense and offense, they're an A on defense, A on offense. You feel what I'm saying? That's Dallas Mavericks. Now throw in Luka Doncic. Now you might have an A+ on offense, but a B- on defense. You understand what I'm saying? This Dallas Mavericks team is very tricky, but they're very good and they're very sneaky. And they can beat this Utah Jazz team when Luka does come back, now that they've stolen this game. It's gotten more interesting. Their chemistry is there. Their defense is there. This is a better Mavericks team than last year for sure. They lost Kristaps Porzingis. At first, I was like, but seeing that they got Spencer Dinwiddie and Davis Bertans, I knew that offense would be matched. I knew that offense would not be missed at all. My only problem was, what would the defense look like? And the defense is clicking on all cylinders. I have nothing else to complain about. Utah, what are we going to do? Utah, look, a little funny about Utah. Utah, in the regular season, they take about 43s a game. They ended with, I believe, 30 or a little under 30. I could be wrong. The numbers could be wrong. Don't fucking care. What's that about, Utah? Why the sudden shrinkage in three-pointer shot attempts? Are we trying to make the game a little more fair? Is something going on? Was somebody paid under the table? I don't really do that conspiracy bullshit. But you know me, you know what I mean? I just like to speak on it. What's going on, Utah? What are we going to see these next couple of games? Is it going to 7? Is it going to 6? When Luka comes back, are you guys even going to win? My only problem with Utah is, in the bubble, 2 years ago, they lost to Denver. I believe Denver came back and beat them. Last year, they lost to the Clippers. Western Conference Finals or round 2. One of them bitches. Yeah, it was round 2. Or Western? I don't know. I'm not going to fuck y'all heads up. Google it. It doesn't matter. This Utah team needs to be in the Western Conference Finals or the Finals. Or there's going to be big shakeups. There's going to be eyes looking at Quinn Snyder because his regular season record is great, but his playoff record is kind of So it's about time we start looking at. I got mad respect for Quinn Snyder for what he's done in this Utah organization to have a great team, but you need to win more. Up next, we got the motherfucking Bulls and the motherfucking Bucks. Goddamn, talking about intensity, talking about bounce back games. Even though I already said that the Bulls, in the last episode, the Bucks didn't really look like the Bucks, and the Chicago brought that defense. It's just their offense wasn't really clicking, but their offense was clicking, baby. And this motherfucker. Do you hear me? The Bulls finally looked like that Bulls team in the beginning of the season where everybody had them as title favorites. Only problem is that fourth quarter, they fell the fuck apart, looking like the Brooklyn Nets. They almost gave that game away, and Giannis single-handedly almost brought it back on himself with some help from the role players, the other guys, as Shaq like to call it. But Chris Middleton went out. He had a hamstring problem, and he left the game. More on that, maybe, I don't know. So really, it was on Giannis to put it all on his back, and that's exactly what he did. Bringing the boys, Bulls was up by 15-17. Giannis bringing them all the way back down within 4, 3, 2 points. And DeMar DeRozan, and Nikolai Vujovic, who I was raving about last episode, stepped it up again this game. And him, DeMar DeRozan was about 36, Nikolai Vujovic was about 23. Big games. Alex Caruso, another great game on the defensive side, taking a pivotal charge on Giannis like the last minute of the game, 30 seconds of the game, whatever the fuck it was. Last minute or two of the game. A pivotal charge just all around. Zach LaVine doing what Zach LaVine does. This whole Patrick Williams with probably the defensive player of the game in that game too. Very good, very essential. Kobe White doing his thing on the offensive side as well as defense. The Chicago Bulls came and showed. See, playoffs, you don't have to play all. You don't have to play all 10 men. You don't have to. You can stay or 11 or 12 or whatever you're doing in the regular season. You can stay to a 9-10 lineup. You can stay at 8. You know, and utilize your. You give your guys a little more minutes if need be, and that's what we're seeing. With the Bulls, they don't have Lonzo, and they were known to not really have that depth. But the coaching, knowing when to put guys in and when to not put guys in, is shown. Now Milwaukee just lost Chris Middleton. Now what does that mean for the Bucks? Now, without Middleton, this gets a little interesting. Of course, Giannis can probably win this series by himself, but the offense is already stagnant as it is. Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton been kind of slow games 1 and 2, just a tad bit. And you can see that. The offense, they're not really scoring as much. They're not scoring in bunches. Chris was starting to pick it up and get it going. And when Chris Middleton, I stole this from the announcer, so if you heard it, fuck me. Chris Middleton, when he's playing great, the Bucks offense is great. But when he's playing good, they're just good. You understand? When he's playing great, that opens up the floor for everybody. You got to worry about him and Giannis, which is just worrying about Giannis is almost a 3-man job alone in itself. So trying to make it, Chris Middleton making it easy on you by him missing shots is what you want, what you need. Now that he's gone, what does that say about the Bucks? This is the time for people to step up. Also, Bobby Portis was fighting a little bit of injury. Tristan Thompson caught him in the head, elbowed him in the face. Drew a little blood. Nothing too serious though. He just started seeing double, but he got back to playing a little bit in the game. What does this mean for the Bucks? I feel like Grayson Allen, Pat Connaughton are going to have to step up. They're going to have to do more. I believe they got Wesley Matthews. They're going to have to step up, and they're going to have to do more at the end of the day. They're going to have to do a lot more than what they've previously been doing. They can't coast, they can't ride by, they can't do any of that stuff. They're going to step up, and that's basic. Brook Lopez probably going to take a bigger offensive role. They'll probably throw a Bach in there just because he has a little slight offense in there as well. Just different things like that. But I feel like depending on when he comes back, I don't want to give a Larry Live take and not really know all the information, but just to give just some ifs. If he doesn't return, the Bulls have a high chance of beating the Bucks without Chris Middleton. But yeah, it is very doable that Giannis can still beat the Bulls without Chris Middleton. Just from what players will need to step up, but Giannis can get it done. That's all I'll say. Next up, the last series that you gotta know, most interesting still. Definitely interesting, entertaining from what you saw last night. Celtics and the Nets, or whenever you see, I don't know. Celtics and the Nets. Oh my gosh. How about Boston Celtics? Getting their ass whipped 3 quarters straight. And then all of a sudden, just said, no, the fuck we not. Not no more. You heard me? Celtics did a motherfucking thing, man. They turned the defense up on super. You heard me? They was clamping KD up all night, if you want to keep it. They wasn't clamping. They was making it tough for him all night. Kyrie struggled all night. You know what I mean? But it really wasn't that Kyrie struggling, KD struggling. That's not the story. Because Brooklyn was up the whole game. Yeah, Goran Dragic coming in, leading scorer at the half with 16 points. You know, or 13. I believe he finished with 16. But the story is how Boston turned up that defense in the third quarter, held Brooklyn scoreless or to only 3 points for about in a 7-minute span in the fourth quarter. Peyton Pritchard had 8 points in the fourth. Jaylen Brown had 10 points in the fourth. Jason Tatum locked up KD, or just was, had KD struggling, if you will, all in the fourth. Kyrie could barely score in the fourth. It was very, very, very ugly last night for the Brooklyn Nets. And shit happens. It's basketball. Nobody's hitting the panic button. Brooklyn are professionals. They understand Boston made a run. They didn't score. They understand what the fuck they didn't do. But all they're doing right now is making me look bad. Like, what the fuck, man? You feel me? That's all they're doing is making me look bad. You feel what I'm saying? What it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Celtics came in, the defense, like I was just saying about the Dallas, you know what I mean? Since January 1st, Boston has been the #1 team in the league on the defensive end of the ball. They don't have Robert Williams, but goddamn it, Al Horford, Daniel Tice, Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year, Peyton Pritchard, Brown and Tatum, doing what the fuck they gotta do. Don't forget the other Williams. What's his name? Goddamn it. It's not Patrick Williams. It's some shit. He's such a funny looking nigga too, man. The other Williams, that's not Robert Williams, that shoots the threes and shit. He was showing up. He had like he brought them within. He brought them within close before the half. He brought them within 10 before the half. Eight straight points. But the just the defense by the Celtics is going to be a problem. It got everybody wondering about the Nets. What's the Nets going to do? What's going to happen? It's looking like Celtics can end the Brooklyn Nets after 2 games. I don't believe it will. I believe Brooklyn will probably steal these next 2 at home. Probably cup up another game after those 2 games and win in 6 or 7. Win in 6, that means they got to win 4 straight. Probably win in 7, win 6, 7. Who knows? You feel what I'm saying? But I like the Nets to win. No injuries yet. No real problem. They blew a lead late in the fourth. They didn't score in the fourth. They got outscored. Shit, I don't have it on here. I believe, man, fuck. 29-13 or 14. Man, they didn't score. They didn't have. It was so ugly in the fourth. It was so ugly in the fourth quarter. It was hard to believe at times. You might have thought somebody paid them a little extra to not show up in the fourth. That's how bad it was. But big up to the Celtics defense and the whole Celtics. Brown taking off. Brown missing last year's playoffs, showing y'all this year. Yeah, Brooklyn, do that shit again, homie. Do that shit again, homie. You did, yeah. But Brooklyn, 2 bad games from Kyrie and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant still ended with like 27, but he was like 4 for 17. A lot of their points came from free throw line. You still haven't seen both players high. I won't make an excuse. But if we get some games where Kevin Durant is high and Kyrie is high, it's going to be hard to stop them. It's going to be hard to pull what you pulled in this game 2 coming back like that. To be realistic, I still like the Nets. If they don't win, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Larry Live. It is what the fuck it is. But that's all the time we have here for today, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed my little playoff talk. Some Game 3 notables. I feel like Toronto will finally get a win in Philly. Golden State will probably win their next. Will definitely win their next 3. Memphis will win Game 3. Hawks will come back and win their Game 3. Bulls will win Game 3 without Middleton. Dallas will win Game 3. I believe Luka will come back. Matter of fact, that'll be a great game. Utah, Dallas. I'll just say Dallas. But if Utah wins, that will be. It won't surprise me. It won't surprise me, especially after the just winning close Game 1 and then not winning Game 2 with no Luka Doncic. You got to do something. Luka has to come back and you have to win in order to just show that you're not fucking food. Bulls, Bucks. I think I just said the Bulls without Middleton, and Celtics next. I got the Nets winning that one. But that's all the motherfucking time I had for today. I'm your boy Larry. Been too motherfucking live for y'all. Check me out next time where I give y'all all the juice, all the dirt on Game 3. You feel what I'm saying? Just check out other videos I got ready for y'all. I got so much in the vault ready to give y'all motherfuckers. It's gonna be a hot summer. I don't know. It's your boy Larry, man. We been live. See y'all next time.